here and put it in defense mode.
Yo, is that...
Cimo literally has game here if he goes for horse.
Time warp, go!
Hey guys, it's Tyler from TCG Rewind. Today I wanted to do another reaction video. We haven't done one of these in a while, and this is going to be on the history of Jank, the most recent episode. I saw that Cimo was playing Nordics, and that is a common deck from September 2011, so I wanted to kind of take a peek, see what they got going on, because, to be honest, like, I got to make sure they do Nordics justice, because this deck's actually pretty good. It's really good, so... yeah, we'll just hop right into it. Hey guys, editing Tyler here. Real quick, I just want to note that I realized like halfway through filming this that I actually like had the bottom half of Cimo's screen cut off so you can't see his life points. So I'm going to just add it somewhere on the screen. So if you see the life points, I'll keep the running total until I eventually noticed and fixed it.
Countless champions have been crowned throughout the history of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! But what about the underdogs, the dark horses, the decks that upon first glance make you question everything you thought you knew about the game? In this series, both MBT and myself will be showcasing some of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s wackiest unsung heroes. Each episode will feature new decks, new strategies, and the results will be unpredictable. You've seen the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!, but this is the history of Jank.
Tech Genus. Now, if you've already watched the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you are familiar with this archetype.
Okay, so this is like a really weird TG build. And so like in full disclosure, I'm assuming that Cimo is playing the Nordic list that topped in 2011, but that was 100% a September 2011 build. I can already tell you right now that this is not a September 2011 build. In September 2011, Heavy Storm was banned, or Heavy Storm was legal, Tree was banned, and they finally got rid of Royal Oppression. So Royal Oppression is not legal, so we're currently seeing a March 2011 list versus a September 2011 list. And the reason why I can tell that, confirm that, is because we also have BLS, we have Heavy Storm. Both of these were on the September list. So it's a little odd that they decided to mix two formats. Like, I think it's like really, really different. I feel like you could just modify your build to match this list. This is typically the one people like to play on. But yeah, kind of odd. But one thing about this list is I feel like this is like, I don't know if this topped. Maybe it did. I haven't seen something like this before. It's just like Flamvel, like a small weird Flamvel engine, no rekindling, and just like some TGs. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. I feel like they could have like featured something like Beastun or something in this slot instead. That's a lot more like unique. It topped a few things and it was pretty strong, but it was basically just like a skill drain variant of like TGs without like it didn't run like really any striker. It like ran striker as like a one of, and then like it was like, I don't know, it had a really small TG engine. It went heavy on like cards like Wangu, Horn, and then like skill drain and stuff like that. I mean, that was like a lot better, I would assume. Like, again, I just think this list feels so it feels awkward, but I guess it's history of Jank, so maybe it's justifiable. But yeah, I mean, this list's pretty self-explanatory. We'll move on here. Yeah, let's see what Cimo has to say about Nordics.
Sir, this deck is awful. How did this actually get a top 32 cut at YCS?
All right, we got to be clear on something, guys. This deck is not awful. This deck is actually really, really good. And like, so I put this deck at tier 1 in September 2011. This build in particular is extremely smart, and I'll explain why. So we have, in his list, he's running 3 Tour Guide Sengen as well as running 3 Tengu. And what this does in the format is the meta was like saturated with a lot of Tengu plant players. And this deck greatly benefits from your opponent attacking into your monsters. You want your monsters to die by battle, so then you can special summon the Grey Goat, and then Grey Goat can switch itself to attack, and you can special summon the horse, and that lets you like make crazy synchro plays without using your normal summon. So What this deck can do is it masks itself as Tengu plants. Tengu plants ran 3 Tengu and 3 Tour Guide Sangan, so if any of your starting plays revolve around that, which is pretty easy and common for that to happen, you like normal summon a Tour Guide, get a Sangan, and then pass, and typically your opponent's play is going to be to swing over that attack position Tour Guide and leave the Sangan, which means you just get a special summon the Grey Goat right there. And that means like on your next turn without using normal summon, you can make a level 7 synchro, and you also just have a Sangan sitting there on your board. It gives you a lot of options, like a ton of options. Like you can even like, if you need to, you could like exceed the Grey Goat and the Sangan after getting the tuner, and then normal summon like a Tengu and synchro for 8. All kinds of stuff you can do. It's really, really cool. And then also like they have access to this like searcher trap, which is so punishing in the metagame, because like this is like one of the only decks that can like effectively do this. Like this card is like really, really good, but it like what you do is you set your heavy storm and you set one of these searchers and pass, and then your opponent thinks that you have a lot of back row set, so they feel safe setting their back row. So they're going to set like 2 or 3 back row. And then on your next turn, you can flip the heavy and then chain the searcher trap and blow your opponent out, like get it like a 1 for 2 or a 1 for 3. And it's really, really good. Not to mention, this is just a punish for Randy MSTs. Yeah, I mean, just the fact that he said it's bad, I don't trust how he explains this deck, so I'm just gonna tell you. So the worst Nordic is this White Goat. Its effect is when it dies by battle, you get 2 tokens that are level 3. You want to use this strictly for if it dies by battle, you get the 2 tokens, you special the Grey Goat. Now with those 2 tokens on your next turn, when you switch this to attack, gold facts plus Grey Goat, or the white tokens, will make you a Thor on its own, which is really, really good. And then if you have another normal summon of like a horse or something, then you can also make like Ancient Sacred Wyvern, which is honestly this deck's best card. The best card in the deck is Ancient Sacred Wyvern.
Toronto in 2011, I believe. Welcome to the Xyz era, ladies and gentlemen, where anything tops in Yu-Gi-Oh! And especially Nordic. I am so hyped to play this. There are people who are die-hard Nordic fans. I'm not one of them. I've never read a Nordic card in my life. That's not true. But I can say that I've never played Nordic in my life. And that's what History of Jank is all about, right? Us finding these janky decks that people have played, trying to navigate ourselves to a win, and hopefully getting out of the jank tank. Although, I think it's pretty fitting for this episode, considering I'm playing Nordic of all things. But
doing the deck dirty, can't hear it. We can't listen to this. This deck is really good. It's easily tier 1. If you go back and play 2011, that's the format that I think it's the best format Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever had. If you go back and play it, you will see that this deck is actually insane. It is definitely not bad. All right, let's skip ahead. The only other card that we're going to talk about is Thor, which is the level 10 synchro. That card's like obviously really, really good. It's like 3,500 attack and can like bring itself back. So like prevent, like if it gets destroyed, you can like banish a Nordic to bring it back or something like that. It's and it can like negate face-up monster effects. Pretty good.
Regardless. So ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Well, Joseph, welcome to the Xyz era for the History of Jank. Gotta be honest, I didn't expect us to be here this quickly, nor did I think we were going to be playing.
This isn't the Xyz era. I mean, deck like this was like early cusp of Xyz, so like only a very select few, like Utopia, Leviathan Dragon, Leviair, Roach, and Gotchi. Those are like the only ones you really saw play, without like a few exceptions. Every deck was very synchro oriented still, because all that was out was Generation Force. At Photon Shockwave, you see things like, you know, the Dino Rabbit Exceeds and like even some wind up stuff, and that's when like the game like starts becoming way more Exceeds oriented, where those cards start getting way better than running just synchros.
Playing the decks that we are playing this episode. I mean, we're not exactly playing like the Xyz focused decks you might think of from this time in Yu-Gi-Oh, but I think we picked a couple good ones.
I was going to say, welcome to the Xyz era. Now enjoy these 2 synchro decks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They are playing some Xyz cards, so that is quite relevant.
Yeah, well, you might be. I don't know if I am. I will say the Xyz era was dominated by unbelievably powerful rank 3 strategies early on. That would eventually change to unbelievably powerful strategies like Wind Up, like Inzektor, and we are going to see none of that. Instead, we are going to see some really, really bad decks. Though I will say, at a very bare minimum, people were better at deck building now than they were in 2011. You know,
Really? Shocked.
It gets a lot better from this point on. There's a lot more people tinkering with a lot of archetypes that did have promise on release, rather than individuals being like, you know, here's my bulk. Could this take down a YCS?
I don't know if you saw it, but we're recording this in June of 2022. There was a Nordic deck that topped an event recently.
Like
and this
last
deck
week.
was, yes, it was like last week. And this deck that we are playing today that I'm piloting was topped a YCS in 2011, 11 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And Nordic has received support. So is TG. I mean,
It has.
Clearly based off your sleeves.
And
some decks are treated better than others.
It's really funny because Nordic was pretty much never playable. So this might be
It's
Nordic's,
extremely
like,
playable.
first premier top ever. And of course, it's
And
being done
only
so
premier top
ridiculous.
ever.
Yeah.
But
I think the
guess I
Nordic
can't
deck
say
from
that.
last.
I think it only had a single top in this era because it was pretty underexplored. Like, keep in mind, in 2011, this was like right on the beginning of when smartphones were coming out. This is gonna date me. I know I'm gonna sound really old, but like, there wasn't actually a lot of internet coverage of a lot of these tournaments and stuff like that. Typically, people would like post on like Facebook or social media talking about like what deck won. And so it'd always be like, oh, Tengu Plants won the event or something. And a lot of those decks that like would top that were like, you know, smaller isolation people kind of branching off and exploring other archetypes, those decks didn't actually get featured all that often, which means they'd kind of just slide under the radar, which was crazy because like that also meant that like people would also really like bandwagon over certain decks. Like if Plant won, everybody would be playing plants at the next event. And then there'd be, you know, people, obviously there'd be people playing other stuff, but like the majority would always go for the last deck that won. That pattern typically continues throughout Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, but for the most part, like when you see like a lot more like coverage of these events in the top 32 breakdowns, people then start looking at like what topped as a whole and then start maybe exploring a bit more. So I'd say less so in like more modern eras, but in this time it was a very bandwagon era. So like I would just say that Nordics was probably underexplored for the time because the deck is extremely good. I just want that to be clear.
Last week
I
is
guess I
playing
can't say
more
that.
Nordic synchros than you are.
Yes, I think this deck is playing a total of 1.
Yeah, they had
so
3.
We're gonna
They
have to
had
see
3.
if I summon the synchro, I win by default.
Yeah,
But
for sure, yeah.
Let's shout the patron. It is Karsten Davis. Thank you for the support, buddy. Do you have the hand up?
Oh, geez. God, what do I even pick here? Okay, I will. I have one.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a die because I don't feel confident. I'm gonna go odd.
It is odd. 3 materials for TG Trident Launcher, which I am playing.
Excellent. Okay, perfect. So we're cheating already.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
We'll just skip to that part of the video. I know we're gonna get there eventually.
Exactly. And if not, then the comments will already do that as well. Congratulations on moving, by the way. This is
Thank
the first
you.
video with the new setup that probably looks very bland.
Yeah, I'm
so-
just in like a big empty. It looks like a prison. And truly playing TG is a fitting punishment. I feel like I've got enough brain cells still working to slap this together.
Buddy, it's history of jank. We've been in prison for months. But if you want to pick paper, we can start this game because I've been on scissors here for a while.
Oh, joy. Me too. I have already picked
Oh.
paper. There we go.
Oh, yes, there we go. The rock, paper, scissors finally decided to work. We didn't have to go out and quit and start a new game. Isn't
That'd be
Dueling Book
ridiculous.
the best piece of software?
Oh,
That's so relatable. The Dueling Book is fantastic. It's like helpful for making, you know, allowing like YouTuber content like this. But even when filming like Tournament of Tournaments with Joe, we have so many situations where we just lag out and you have to like repair it. Like in our first episode, we actually had to like fully repair a game because he just lagged out so hard. We had to like take screenshots of our graveyards and everything and like, you know, remember our hands. It was a whole mess because we were like an hour deep into that game. It was crazy.
you know what? After that shuffle, I think it actually is. That's
Oh,
a nice looking
fuck.
hand.
Don't want to hear that. All right.
That's a good
good
hand
luck,
for
sir.
Cimo.
We'll
Yeah.
go to main phase 1. Okay. I need to think how I want to do this. There's a couple of options. I think the better of
Hold on. What couple of options is he thinking about? There's literally one option here. I mean, I guess like maybe he's thinking he could set Grey Goat and pass, but you have no protection for this. Like setting Raikou is the only play here. Like you want to hold this in hand. Yeah, there's no. I don't even know what he's thinking.
the 2 is probably to set this one card, and I'm going to set this one card and throw it.
Setting Heavy Storm is
so that's
smart.
one of those stupid horses. This is like one of the goats. I'm gonna walk into it and you're kidding me. You are kidding me with that draw. That is a
You can see the lack of knowledge about Nordics. Thinking that someone would set the horse here is like that it would be the last probable play. Like, horse is always held in hand, or you want it in deck so you can summon it off Grey Goat.
literally the worst draw in my entire deck by a
I think
large
we need to have
margin.
a game to see who can pronounce the names of these Nordic monsters more poorly.
I can't believe I just.
You'd
drew
probably
that card.
open
I'm gonna
Flambeau
summon
Magician. That's gonna be my
TG Rush
guess.
Rhino here.
Okay, we're Russian.
We're gonna go to combat. We'll attack
Ooh.
into your stupid Tangna Valser or whatever.
This is not a horse, but it's another four-legged friend in Raikou.
Oh.
We'll take out the Rush Rhino.
That's like best case scenario for MBT, getting like just mono summoning a TG and swinging into a Raikou. Like, that's pretty optimal because you just get to replace it later. So not bad. But again, you would never set either of these cards. Maybe you could set Grey Goat if you're going to protect it, but rarely turn 1 is that going to be the play.
Oh, okay. That's like a normal monster. Okay. Let's see what you get off the top of your deck here.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and mill 3 here.
Ooh.
No, what? Those are all good cards.
Happy to see those
God
3.
damn
You got it, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Excuse
was
me,
a rough
sir.
mill.
I'm actually not done. Since a monster was destroyed by battle,
What?
I get to special summon Tangnoster from my hand.
Yo, is that Tangnogster?
Of course.
Well, you
I'm
know,
so,
I
I'm
just
so
say
sorry to
Grey
all my
Goat.
Nordic viewers. I'm gonna butcher all of these names.
It's way easier to say
my
Grey Goat,
goodness.
White
All
Goat,
right,
and Horse.
I guess I will go to the end phase, and I will trigger the effect of Rush Rhino.
Sure. Go ahead and get your
Endless
ad.
conga line of assholes. Endless conga line of assholes. Back
There's
to
the
you.
striker. Okay, I'll draw. Anything in standby?
No.
Oh, this
Cool.
is huge.
Activate heavy.
You are fucking with me, dog. Why would you say? We'll book this.
We literally
guy.
talked about this when we were seeing the decks.
Sure, that's fine.
This, I mean, granted, he didn't have the Searcher Trap,
What do we
but
get?
still.
What do we get? 7
You got
tools,
some good
bottomless.
ones, buddy.
Striker in hand. Cool. Okay. So Tangnoster,
Oh, this is
I don't
gonna
know
be
how to say
big.
this, says when it's changed, defense position card on the field is changed to face up attack. It doesn't say it needs to be in face up
Yes,
defense
it will trigger.
when
You
I
can
do
flip
this effect. So
No,
I
that is
believe I can
true.
flip this and trigger it. Is that
Yes,
correct?
you can.
Great, excellent. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that then. We get to special summon any Nordic beast from our deck in defense position, except another copy of itself. So,
I actually really love the text
No.
change to face up attack position.
Don't.
Like the
See-
implication that you could change
No.
it to face down attack position.
darkness approaches, buddy. It's a card.
Please stop hovering
we're
that,
going
please.
to get
No.
another card that I cannot pronounce. We're going to get Tangrisnir and put
No!
it in defense mode.
Yo, is that?
Cimo literally has game here if he goes for Horse. I'll probably add a little dueling book thing to show you what I'm talking about, but literally this play is you get the Horse, you normal summon the Tengu, you synchro with the Tengu into the, synchro with the Tengu and the Horse, you make Scrap Dragon, for example, and then you reborn the tuner and then synchro with this into Ancient Sacred Wyvern. So then you'll have Tengu, Scrap Dragon, Ancient Sacred Wyvern, and I guarantee you with 3 back row set, MBT probably doesn't have Gores. Even if he does, this is gonna clear through it. So it literally would be this is almost guaranteed game. If not, he's gonna clear through pretty much everything MBT has in the event that he has Gores. But I know he doesn't even play it, so there's no Gores here, which means literally that would be 17 in, 28 in, and then the Ancient Sacred Wyvern would gain the 17 plus 28, and Cimo would be at 30 something, and that's just game. He's getting baited by the Thor. Never get baited by the Thor.
Oh gosh.
How could you get them confused, right? I mean, clearly one's black and one's white. It's easy.
Yeah.
This one, when it's destroyed by battle, I get to special some tokens, which
I
is
remember
cool,
this one.
but
It's like Whack Dandelion.
infinitely
You never
worse
get that card
than
off of
Dandelion.
this.
I think that's a
There's
generous
almost never a
comparison.
scenario where that's
I'm
worth it.
so close to just winning this game right now. I'm dangerous. I did not think I'd be saying that playing Nordic on turn 2, but I'm
boo-hoo, I'm
dangerously
about to
close.
win. Oh,
You had
no.
game.
I'm so
Yeah, how
close. I
unfortunate.
just can't add the stars together.
I can't, sadly.
I wonder if that Nordic... I don't know if the YCS list was actually playing Terabyte. That's really odd. I feel like this card's really bad.
I guess you could say it was just not in the stars, but I kind of want to go for it because it's cool, and I'm probably never going to get another chance to do this.
I'll
so
just be honest
whatever.
with you, dog. I don't think anything in my hand is gonna clear this.
All right, well, I'll bring out
Yo, no,
Gulfa. Goldfaxi? I no shot on this one, by the way.
This
We're
one's
just gonna
called
sync up with these
Goldfax.
two. We're going to make Scrap Archfee.
Oh, cool. Epic.
What?
Reborn
Oh,
target
come on.
Goldfaxi.
Yeah.
I'm going to sync for Ancient Sacred Wyvern.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to go 27.
Okay. I'll take it.
Ancient Sacred Wyvern gains 27 and goes to 4,800. I'm 500 off.
He even, like, I thought he was just gonna go Thor. Like, I really thought that's what he was gonna do. Like, bro, like, he just, all you had to do is normal Tengu, and that gives you all the damage you need. Oh, that hurts. That's so hurt. That hurts so bad. Nordic did the bad deck.
Oh man, that's
Go.
rough. So this guy is now a 9,000 attack point monster.
Correct.
Oh, jeez.
9,600 to be exact.
That is a really crazy card for me to draw 2.5 turns ago. Okay, let's special summon
Leeching
TG
Light.
Striker.
He wouldn't have it.
We
but
knew
it'd
this
be
was
cool.
coming.
Obviously. The hell do I do next? Okay, I do have a play. I think it's very good. We are going to normal summon Flamvel Fire Dog, and then I am going to send them to the graveyard for Brionac.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go Brionac. I'm going to pitch
pitch
2,
both.
including
Wow.
King Tiger Wonghu and fucking Flamvel
Oh,
Magician
no.
I draw off the top
The
of the
Veiler's
goddamn
gonna
deck.
hurt
I can't
so
believe I did
bad.
Oh, come on!
Tragic.
Oh, man. Effect Veiler. You just drew the Effect Veiler to beat the Brio.
Yeah, it happened to work.
Oh.
Oh, it just happened to work that way. Oh, well, I'm glad it
Yeah.
happened to work out for you, buddy. Let's see if I can manage a synchro summon this time.
I'm very proud that the first game I play with Nordics, I actually won the game. So I'll take it. One away from actually cleaning up. Let's go.
6th card again. There's one of these in the deck. Oh, my God, that's fine. That's fine. I don't need him. He's holding me down. All right, listen. I'm going to do a really funny thing here. I'm going to normal summon King Tiger Wonghu.
Okay.
I'm going to special summon TG Warwolf.
Okay.
King Tiger Wonghu will destroy TG Warwolf.
Wait,
That
what?
it will.
I will set.
Okay, let's read together, guys. Let's read. I gotta scoot over so we can read it all. Okay. When a level 4 or lower monster is special summoned, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Now, let's just play this back for a second, you know?
With Nordics, I actually won the game. So I'll take it. One away from actually cleaning up. Let's go.
6th card again. There's one of these in the deck. Oh, my God, that's fine. That's fine. I don't need him. He's holding me down. All right, listen. I'm going to do a really funny thing here. I'm going to normal summon King Tiger Wonghu.
Okay.
I'm
So
going to
normal
special
summon and-
TG Warwolf.
Okay.
King Tiger Wonghu
Nice.
will destroy
Nice.
TG Warwolf.
That it will.
I will set 2, proceed to end phase, and activate the effect of TG Warwolf.
Sure.
I will go ahead and get a copy of Striker. And back
Okay.
to you.
All right. Wang, who's sort of a anything can stand by.
No.
Okay. Yeah, Wang who's sort of a problem in this deck because the other Nordic cards are like quite tiny.
Buddy, you better prepare for the
So-
Flamvel Magician.
Actually, Wangu,
beatdown.
like-
oh, it's coming.
rough.
I know it's coming.
He actually,
I'll
he
do
doesn't
Allie.
even survive. He's got 1,400. Duality's
Oh.
Oh, look at that! Right off the top. That
Wait.
seems like a great card. Let's take that.
I almost
Yeah,
think the
good-
Book of
good
Moon was
thinking,
better,
good thinking.
but
I don't even know if that was correct. I just saw it and I figured it's the card that would piss you off the most, so I'll fire it.
All right,
That's
I'm
fair.
thinking
Okay,
here.
fair
I'm gonna
enough.
chain MST, targeting my Mirror Force.
oh,
nice
At
heavy
least you
storm,
took it out on
idiot.
your own terms.
The
That makes sense.
disrespect.
Wang, who's a problem? I will just set 2. I think I'll just pass. I don't think I'm in a big rush.
All right, stand by main. I'm gonna normal TG Rush Rhino.
Okay, this one survives.
All right, let's go. Wah.
So 17 and then 2.
this speaks slangs to why
Alright, back to
Wangu
you.
was like a
End
really
step,
good
I will
side card in
activate
this format.
Glepnir, the Fetters of Fenrir.
Wow, you tried on that one.
I will add a Nordic monster to my hand.
What are you gonna
Cool
get?
little trap, by the way.
This is like the worst Rhoda I've ever seen in my life.
Whoa, this is the best Rhoda you've ever seen in your life. Here's why, okay? Your opponent attacks into one of your monsters and you have nothing in hand, for example. you can, in response to the attack, activate the Searcher, add the Greygo, and then now they're still stuck in that attack. They can't redeclare or anything, so they're going to swing over your monster, and then you get the Greygo. So that's a really cool way to do it. I don't know what functional use he's going for with this play. It doesn't really make any sense.
It can make your opponent neg, though, if you, like, set
That
it.
is true.
and they
That
have you
it's like a
sword or
jar
MST
of
it.
greed type situation.
Right, which is still awful. Like, I'd rather just have Rhoda.
Although
Like,
I
no,
will
it's
say
fine.
it probably isn't better than Rhoda
Tangnostia.
inherently,
Okay,
but
sure.
they both have their own very
Sure.
different
All right,
ways
we'll
to be
draw.
really good.
That is probably the worst draw on my deck. I need to, like, not die. And that's not looking too hot. I know
Yeah,
you have
that's why he
Striker.
probably needed
I
the book.
will-
And you have a sneaking suspicion I have Flame Veil Magician.
Yes, just a hunch. You know, I'm gonna run out Gulfaxe.
Yeah.
Gulfalie. I'm gonna crash with your Rhino.
That's fine.
I guess that
It's
makes
not
sense.
great. That's it.
I'm going to trigger Rhino.
Yes,
We
that's
will
why this is not
grab Warwolf.
Yeah, I guess it gets
Start my
Rhino off
turn,
the field,
stand
but
by me.
that
Oh,
feels
this
bad.
stinks. Let's go duality here.
Okay.
I guess I'll take 7 tools. I'll put these 2 back.
Don't really think you need Dark Hole on this board. Although I would like you to do that.
I'm going to normal striker.
Have it blow up.
Battle.
17, yeah, that's fine.
Second main, I'll set 1. End phase, I'll trigger striker.
Sure.
And we'll go get a rush Rhino.
Makes sense. Thankfully, Rhino can get itself. I will
Hey!
draw. You know, that's pretty good. Run out Tengu.
No! Yeah. I should have gotten
I
Book
will
of Moon.
crash.
Yep.
Trigger Tengu.
That's fine.
Let's get a Tengu.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I can chain the
Don't.
Tangnostir.
Why?
The monster was killed by battle as well, so I'll do that.
Wow.
I believe it comes out in defense.
Why?
Sure, that's fine.
No, it can be attacked. I'll just leave it in defense. That's fine. I'll smack you for 17 with the Tengu.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Fun fact about
That's
TG
it for me.
Warwolf. Did you know it cannot trigger in the damage step?
Really?
Learn that,
That
just
is-
now.
Alright, I've just became aware that I didn't have Cimo's life points on the board, so we'll probably add a little thing for Cimo's life points up until this point. But now we fixed it. We fixed it. Okay, so yeah, we'll get back into it.
Ow.
Frustrating.
All right, so we're going to begin by special summoning TG Striker.
Yeah, we knew you had this. That's fine.
And then because I've special summoned a TG Striker, I'm going to
I
summon a
guess
TG Warwolf. Let's
his
normal Rush
logic.
Rhino.
Rush Rhino is fine.
And then all 3 TGs to the graveyard for their ultimate boss, TG Trishula, King of the Ice Barrier.
Okay.
He has
I
the
imagine
warning.
we're activating the effect.
I would like to.
I will activate effective.
What?
Oh, you're kidding me. Boy, that is really, really...
Bro, like, he just hates this Greygo. Like, if he wouldn't have summoned this randomly in the last turn, he could have just held it in his hand, and then bada bing, he smacks us on the field, and like in response to this Tengu attack, like then the Veiler makes sense. But this is like the most backwards thing I've ever seen. Like I think this like would make a lot of sense. Like warning is actually so punishing here because none of these TGs are gonna get a search, right? So like it's a huge punish for the warning, and then he can honestly probably just OTK on his next turn, assuming this isn't anything crazy.
Really upsetting. Oh my goodness. All right, I'll go to combat here. Let's just attack Tangnostir.
The man who has Trish is complaining. He's down.
All right. Back to you.
I probably shouldn't have summoned the Tangnostir, but my logic was I just didn't want to die.
Yeah, no,
so-
I will tell you right now, you were absolutely correct to summon Tangnostir.
Okay, good. I don't get the summon, but it's fine.
I don't think he was correct
what's
to summon
the move
Tangnostir.
now? I will turn Tengu sideways.
You got it. Still with you.
I will set 1, and I will set 1, and I will pass it to you.
Stand by main. Oh, right on time. All right, I'm going to normal summon Flamefell Magician.
Sure.
I will mind control your set card.
I'm going to chain MST to your back row.
Uh-oh. Sure.
You may have it. It is a Sangan.
That's ass. That is really ass. Okay, so...
You want a synchro, buddy?
I kind of did. I was sort of planning on it. So if I synchro, I can make Black Rose.
Let me help you out, Black Rose. I think that's a good call.
All right, we'll just go combat. I'll hit your monster with my powerful Flamvel Magician.
Trigger Tengu. I will grab a Tengu. I imagine it will not be long for this earth, so I'll just immediately send it to the graveyard.
Yeah. Second main. Oh, man. I mean, Black Rose is a big guy. What's the worst thing you possibly get? The Nordic beast who searches extra Nordic beast, or who summons extra tokens, which I can't get over the course of 4 turns. So you can just have him back, unfortunately.
Okay. I'm okay with that. I'll draw. I'm going to normal summon Tour Guide.
Yeah, that's fine.
Activate Tour Guide.
Yeah.
I will grab Shocker. I will get Tour Guide because the Sangen's already on the field. I'm going to flip the Sangen.
Still with you.
I'm going to overlay everything.
Everything? No.
For number 34, Terror Bite, which has 2,900 defense points.
What do you want me to do? Oh my god. He's huge.
Oh my god, this is the worst card I've ever seen. All right, I mean, I'm not
Really
dying
bad card,
anytime
but-
soon, but if I didn't make this play, I probably was dead. I could take your Flamvel Magician, which
Do you want him?
I could
please. Please.
It's
I
until
could
the end
take him
phase.
and crash him into your Trish so you don't get it back. But that would require me to take a shit ton of damage, and I don't think that's the right move. Instead, I think I'm just gonna set one pass.
Stand by main.
We should also figure this out now. Do you want to play by if Sangen triggers on detach, or if it has to go to the graveyard in the traditional way? If you want my opinion, I feel like we should play by the way it actually works, because I don't think Sangen was ever intended to work that way. I think that was just like a lapse in time. And if that benefits...
That was a like week of time, guys. A lot of people talk about that, like, but that was just like people not knowing how it was ruled, so they just did it, and then Konami's like, yeah, that's not how it works. It was really not like a thing. So I don't. People really bring that up all the time about this format. Not a thing.
It's you know, consider it a gift.
Hooray. Well, shit, how do I out this? I have an out. It's just not very clean and dies to all back row, so let's try it.
Excellent.
I'm going to normal summon Flamvel Fire Dog.
Still with you.
You really want to see this after you draw the Flamvel Magician. Let me just state that for the record.
Ideally, that's how the deck works.
We'll make Scrap Dragon.
Yeah, can't let that go. I have a warning.
Oh, that's why you didn't want to crash it. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this is a fun game of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're playing here today.
I'll space the back row.
Oh, come on!
It's anyone's game, buddy. It's anyone's
the
game.
stoppable force meets the movable object.
Movable object.
Oh, that's like the best draw in my deck. All right, back to you.
I will activate Glepnir.
Oh, shit! Yeah.
I don't even think this is good.
Yeah, he should have waited to
I
play
guess
this.
if you have a way to clear this, I sort of need a way to like not die. So I will.
Basically, in this scenario, you're waiting to see what you get next, right? Because Goldfax can special summon itself if he has a synchro, which he does. So there's a world where you wait to see what your non-tuner is, to see if you draw a non-tuner, and then if you do, great. If you don't, then you just search.
I'll get the Tangyostir.
Sure, yeah.
Because I can just summon that off of...
It's just like the worst
Oh, I mean,
doors.
well, it has to die in battle, though, so I don't think it's that good, but whatever. We'll try. I'll draw. Shit. That's not very good. Go.
Come on. That's a good draw, about 15 fucking turns too late. Back to you.
Okay, we'll draw. I'm thinking to myself now, maybe I should have gotten the white goat, because I could have set it, and it makes tokens at least, and then we could have gotten somewhere. Instead, I will set a monster, and I will throw it to you.
Thank you, Lord. You and I have not always been on the same page, God, but I appreciate that you come through for me when I need you most. Dark Hole.
Oh, God. I have no response.
That's probably
to this.
good.
Yeah, everything dies.
And now
Got a
I will
monster.
normal summon Flamvel Fire Dog.
Fuck. Can I just tell you?
Yeah.
I cannot believe I had 4 dark monsters
Huh?
stacked on top of one another.
That is unlucky.
What an awful game.
Yeah, the game was pretty bad, not gonna lie. Mostly due to bad play.
I made that joke about detaching a material just to take the Flamvel Magician, and that could have possibly won me the game, even
Actually,
if I
yeah.
just let you had it back at the end of the turn.
So
I
you
did not
had
think
no
there was not a
darks? They were all
no
in
darks.
the
I had
Terrorite?
like 4 lights, no darks. Unbelievable. I never thought in the history, I don't think it would be history of jank if I did not summon fucking Terror Bite in an episode.
And
So, that card has
the Terror
never been summoned
floodgated you
ever.
out of this. Oh my god, this
Unbelievable.
hand is almost playable. That's the first time I've been able to say that.
Jiu-Jitsu
this
Master
I
is
will
nuts.
set
No.
2
Set the heavy. Please tell me you set the heavy storm.
and pass.
No, setting the heavy storm is so good here. Also, how has Cimo opened this like in literally every hand? That's like crazy.
Card Flamvel Magician. Let's go. Oh,
Please.
thank God. Okay. We are going to special summon TG Striker. We are going to normal summon TG Rush Rhino.
That is also fine.
Battle.
Sure.
Wow.
Meet my legendary jujitsu master. Send him back to the top.
Shit. I was really hoping you wouldn't do that. Okay. Well, good thing I didn't synchro first. Main 2, I will set 2 cards back to you.
Okay.
Wait.
End phase, I will activate.
Why didn't he summon the Grey Goat? What are you getting with Fetters?
Glepnir,
I'm
Fetters,
tilted.
or
Just go,
Fenrir.
dude. Just go for it.
This card is just awful. I don't know like what I'm supposed to. I think I actually would have
It's
preferred
such a good
synchro
card.
because then it turns on the horse,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
that would have probably been better for me in all honesty. All right, well we've done everything in this episode except actually summon Thor, so maybe that should be my goal. Yeah, I guess I just get the horse. Whatever. All right, we'll draw. Standby. Main
Ooh,
1.
that's a good draw.
I got the heavy again.
I just don't know what to say. You're just goated with the sauce.
Don't you miss when this card was legal, buddy? It's such a fair Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah.
Sadly, I don't really have like much good
3
follow
in
up
a row.
after that.
That's 3 in a row. You've drawn it 3 times in a row.
I'm gonna set a pair and pass.
Hey, look what I found. It's Rush Rhino. All right, let me pot up
Who
duality.
would have thought? Sure.
We're not making this. Oh, there he is.
Ooh.
Cool. There he is. He's right there. You know what? I'm
You
actually.
better take
good.
him.
I'm taking EM1.
EM1's a good one too. Yeah.
I see why people can't stand Flameville. I'm gonna normal Rush Rhino. Wow. Wait, what did you add off Glepnir?
I added the horse. The
Well, that
Duel
narrows it down.
Fire.
The tuner?
The what? The tuner. Yes.
All right,
the
I'll
tuner.
just try to attack your
Okay.
white horse.
This is actually super nimble mega hamster.
Oh, good. Okay, that's like a normal card.
So we're gonna trigger that and also trigger Tang Nostir and summon him out.
Yeah.
Oh, set another Tang
You
Nostir.
added a trap, correct?
TGEM1. Yeah.
Okay. You have a 4 and a 2 out on the field.
Though I am under duality.
You are also under duality, so you can't even do much anyway.
Oh, I was out here like, what are you possibly thinking about? Just go get Raikou. And then I was like, oh, you have other targets.
Yeah, there's other targets because I'm playing the Nordics. What's cool is that Tang Nostir is actually not once per turn. Oh, it is once per turn. I'm sorry. Never mind.
No.
Oh, no, it's once per turn per copy.
It's a soft OPT,
It's soft
yeah.
once per turn. Yeah, so I could actually just get a bunch of pluses here if you can't clear my dudes. Or like you said, the other option is to get Rhino. But I could also just...
I want to say Raikou might be better because you can you can like swap this to attack to get the Goldfax, and then you can flip the Raikou and pop the TG1 EM1. But I don't remember if MBT has an extra back row here. I don't think he does, because so like that would basically force him to use the TG1 EM1 before you commit to a synchro play, which might be the best option.
summon that off of the thing anyway. Oh yeah, let's just plus. That sounds like fun. This gets set though, so this will go face down.
Second main, I'll set 1. Could literally be anything. Back to you.
Oh wait, he just has
No,
MST.
you
I'm
opened
trolling.
Heavy Storm Space against the trap deck again!
Oh yeah,
I'm
this
too
is just
good.
like
What could you
game then.
expect?
This
All
is
right,
nuts.
main 1. I'm gonna flip both of these to
Just
attack.
draw 8
trigger
cards,
both
dog.
effects.
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah, basically. So I'm gonna summon the goat, and I'm gonna summon any Nordic beast.
Yep.
So I will get a horse.
Yep.
While I'm
I
at
guess getting this goat isn't terrible because now he has the normal summon of 1, so he can now make Ancient Sacred Wyvern plus Thor or something like that, which isn't bad.
2.
Oh, I'm just dead.
So I can summon Thor, which is kind of neat. I don't know if I want to. I don't think that's good, but it's a play. I could go for Thor because it's the fun play, right? This is history of
It
jank.
is history
after
of
all.
jank.
I think Thor's
I
pretty
need a
okay
monster
here.
to put on the thumbnail, and like, would I ever put a card on the thumbnail of history of jank that I don't actually, that neither of us actually plays? No, never. I would never do that. Like Thor is, if you've read it, not very good.
He's not fantastic, but
Thor
he
is
not
good.
fantastic.
him
However,
credit.
No,
he is funny as shit.
He is funny as shit. I would also like to be out of the jank tank, so I think I'm actually.
This says if it's destroyed by your opponent's card, that includes battle or card effect. Like if this thing dies, you can just banish a Goldfax from your grave to bring it back. Your opponent takes 800 life points. And once per turn, you can negate the effects of all face-up monster your opponent currently controls. This is really relevant in Tengu Plant format because in the event of Gachi, you can like turn off Gachis and just kill them, which is really good.
Gonna do a play similarly to what I did before.
Oh, boo.
So yeah, I'm gonna be lame. I'm sorry. I need to actually win. So we're going to go sync the horse and one of the black goats, Ancient Sacred Wyvern.
Yep.
I have yet to commit to a normal summon this turn.
Right.
I'm going to normal summon the other horse that I have. I have to sadly sync with these, otherwise my
I see what he's doing. No, this is probably
the
better.
other goat can't go to attack because I summoned it this turn. The Synchro 7s are not as cool. You know what? Fuck it. We're going for Thor. I don't care. Let's just go for it. Like, we have the material. Let's do it. All right. The boy is here. I can use his effect to negate all face-up monsters you control, which does jack diddly shit because they all trigger in the graveyard. But that's neat, so whatever. Let's go...
Although, one thing to consider here is these guys can just, like, Striker can just search Rush Rhino can just search Striker. So that means that on his next turn, he can just basically summon these two monsters again, and then he'll have two cards in hand, so he can go for that same Bryanak play, except there's no Veiler, which is scary.
How can I don't think the damage actually matters here. So we'll go Thor into Rush Rhino.
I take, what, 19 here?
19, yes. And then we'll go Wyvern into the Striker, and that's all I got.
All right, I'll use Rush Rhino to get Striker and Striker to get Warwolf.
Yes. So the smart play would have been to sync for another 7, and then I could have cleared Striker, attacked over your Rush Rhino, and then Ancient Sacred Wyvern would have been pretty buff, so it could have done more damage, but it's not Thor, so we went for it. And now we lose the game.
You would tell me if you had an Effect Veiler in hand, right?
I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. I am the most honest, kind-hearted friend you've ever
I guess this is
known.
okay because he has
I
Gores.
feel like I have to play around. I feel like, okay. No big deal. I feel like you can't out this. I'll special Striker. I'll special Warwolf.
Okay,
right.
that makes sense.
I'll sync them off. We're going to make Catastor. Attempt to
kind of an
move to
asshole.
battle phase.
Before you leave main phase.
Yeah.
Nothing, you're fine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good pick.
Let's try to walk into a Wyvern here.
Sure. So it just gets immediately destroyed. No damage.
All right. So unfortunately, you talked a lot of shit about Thor, but he is not a very powerful monster on field.
Was he out of Rush Rhinos or something? Like, why didn't he get, like, Bryanak actually is, like, best play,
But he is hard to get rid of.
That is true.
I'm gonna set one and pass.
All right, we'll draw. I think standby.
No.
Main 1. I guess we try for it. Main 1. Activate the effect of Thor. Let me do that first. I need to negate Kakasta, otherwise this is just a bad idea. We'll swing it.
Okay, you've got 2 Nordic Beast tuners. All right. I'm gonna Mirror Force here.
So this will kill Thor. Second main. I've got a set, and I believe in the end phase, I get to trigger Thor here.
So
in the end phase, it was destroyed by a card you controlled. I will banish a Nordic tuner, special summon it, and then I get to deal 800 damage to you. So we'll bring this back. I will banish a horse.
The 800
and I will
damage
pass
is an
the
odd part of the
Wow,
effect,
that's
but
really not what
I guess
wanted
it's
to see.
cool.
Okay, Duality.
Sure.
Ooh, TG1EM1 is big.
Man, I wish I had a TG.
Tragic.
Oh,
I would almost still take it
Let's
just
take
for the
Rush Rhino.
chance.
Okay.
Like, that doesn't really... I guess it, like, lets him stall for a long time.
We'll normal the Rush Rhino.
That is fine.
Combat.
Yep.
Catastor in.
Okay, so Catastor will trigger. This will kill the Thor.
And then Rhino for 2.
I will take the 2,000.
Well, that's the last Nordic tuner in the graveyard.
Bro, okay, so this is another reason why the Searcher Trap is so good. In response to that attack declaration of the Rhino, he could have flipped his fetters, and then he could have special summoned Gores, which would have been really good. So I like he could have special summoned Gores, and then with Thor coming back, like if his opponent like Dark Hole's here, he's gonna win. If he doesn't Dark Hole, then he just gets to swing over his whole board and probably win the game.
Graveyard at least.
So end phase, we'll banish the other tuner, and we'll activate Glepnir
Son
and
of
get
a
the
bitch.
other one, baby!
You are kidding me.
He's never going away. We'll draw.
Oh, that's so good too.
This is unbelievable.
Oh, imagine if he Gores. Like if he didn't just like use this card so improperly. He could tour guide into Leviair, and he could bring back the Goldfax, which would be really sick. Like he could like crash that Goldfax into the Rush Rhino, which would then like put it back in grave for his Thor. And then like Gores can swing over, and then that should just be game, right?
Well, all right. Well, you're at a back row, which is pretty good. We will activate the effect of Thor, negating the effects of new monsters. Normal summon tour guide. Activate tour guide.
Yeah.
We'll get tour guide.
Yeah.
Let's make Leviair.
No. Oh my god. Yup.
Leviair, bring back Gulfale.
Yeah.
We'll go to battle.
Uh-huh.
I will go Thor into Catastor.
I'm taking what, 12, 13 here?
13, yes.
Okay.
I'm actually going to purposefully crash Gulfale
so
into
mad.
Rush Rhino just so I have fodder for Thor.
Yeah.
And then 18 with the Leviair.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All right, I'm going to go grab, what's his name? This guy. Come on. I know I got shit. I've got to play and it loses to effect failure. I've got to play and it loses to effect. I'm going to summon Striker. I'm going to normal Wongu.
4. Yeah, baby.
I'm
Let's
sending
go,
him to the grave.
Let's
I'm
go,
making Brio.
It's still
Brio
game.
target Thor.
You have outed Thor
Oh,
successfully, sir.
Thank the Lord. That card is such an asshole. All right, get in there.
All right, so I'm going to take 5 from this.
Yeah.
Sure.
Especially
then
go.
I will summon Tagnosphere.
How do you still
since
have
you
these?
killed something in battle.
How? This is the 3rd copy. All right, go ahead.
All right, we'll draw. Main 1, I will switch this to attack. I will grab, I think, no targets in my deck.
Fuck off. You are kidding me. Oh, Drew's entire deck.
I've gone through the white goat, I've gone through 3 black goats, and I have the last horse is in my hand, so I am out of targets.
Epic.
Well, shit. I was gonna just make Thor again, but I can't.
Only
do
he
that.
could make
I wish I
another
had, like,
Ancient Sacred
Avarice or
Wyvern.
something.
This
That
is
would
why
be
I've considered,
sick.
like, honestly, I would say run 2 Ancient Sacred Wyvern over, like, even, like, Scrap Archfiend or something. Like, Ancient Sacred Wyvern is really good in this deck. Like, it's, like, one of the best cards. I mean, you could also probably cut Terabyte, but, yeah.
What the fuck do we do now? This is probably fine. I will normal summon the horse.
Yeah.
I will sync for, I guess, Scrap Archfiend, because it's the biggest fucker
Good
I
enough.
have, and will hit you for 4.
Yep.
Go.
I've got one. I've got very few guys left. All right, come on. Well. All right, I'll set 1 back to you.
Okay. You don't sound like you're out of it. We'll try to game shot.
It's warning.
Oh, good bait.
On the back of Thor.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I would have played it safe, because there's no way you lose. And maybe just set the Raikou and passed, and then you could go for the push with the Raikou next turn. But I don't know. It's probably fine to go for it. Actually, yeah, you know what? It's probably better to go for it there.
I can't believe I lost the game after you made Thor. Oh.
That is unreal. You talked me into it. You talked me into it, so you have no one to blame.
Bro, they can shit talk Thor all they want, but Thor put in work this game. That dude was beating down everything. He was so hard to clear. It took a lot. But then again, like I said, I think if MBT would have just searched Rush Rhino earlier and then pitched his whole hand, he maybe would have been in a better spot. But I don't know. I mean, Cimo kind of just had this game checkmated. Like, it was way too good. But also, like, there are so many ways in which they could have used the cards more efficiently. This is one of the beautiful things about this format and even this game is a lot of people will look at decks or cards at, like, face value, and they'll be like, oh, this is really good or really bad. But, like, it's not until you see, like, some of those, like, higher level applications that really make those decks actually become really good. And so it's really just something to keep in the back of your head. Like, some of the plays I talked about, like, you know, activating the fetters in response to the direct attack to, like, open up the board for Gores. All those things are really good. And, like, yeah, it's definitely something you want to keep in mind, because we've kind of seen already now, like, there's been multiple times where Cimo could have won the game and just didn't, because he didn't know the correct play.
You know what, actually, as soon as you made Thor, I knew it was over. I was like, if Cimo had just made, like, Black Rose or Scrap Archfiend or something, I would have won this 100 times out of 100.
Yep.
Once Thor comes out, protagonist powers activate, cannot lose the game from that position.
Yeah, I wasn't losing anyway. I had Gores in hand,
Oh,
too,
yeah.
So,
Oh,
like,
well, great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I will say, going into this, you could say I may have been a bit skeptical about Nordic.
Oh.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah,
right?
You don't get to hear this, commenters, but we talk shit about every single one of the history of jank decks for about an hour before we film.
Everyone. But I will say, I was actually sort of impressed the efficiency you are able to synchro summon with this deck. The Black Goat, the Tangnoster, which again, I apologize all my Nordic viewers. This was actually pretty impressive because you're most likely summoning it after something gets killed in battle, which
At least he learned something. We now know that Nordics is an actually good deck. You know, I mean, again, he didn't really see what the caliber was had it been piloted perfectly, but he learned, and I'm happy. I'm happy he learned.
means you almost guarantee yourself to get a tuner to get into a level 7 or a non-tuner, which can actually get into more tokens potentially, which I didn't do in this match. And you then still have a normal summon in addition to that. And then if you pair that with other extenders as well, you can make like 2 level 7s or a level 6 and a 7 fairly easy with this deck. And then not to mention just like other synergies of just playing just, you know, your good staple cards now that tour guides in the format and the like. I thought this was actually quite fun. I don't think it was like very good, but it's better than I was expecting it to be. I will say that.
Yeah. No, obviously, Nordic has some pretty clear downsides. It's impressively slow. The end bosses aren't that good. Thor here was crazy, but crazy in a format where there's very few things that answer it. You know, playing against a more competent deck, it would maybe have been a different story. But it does have a lot of strengths. I mean, Tangneser is a whack Dandelion, but Dandelion's really good. When you switched to Tangnoster to attack position, I mean, I lost the game there. Like, it was unreal. And Ancient Sacred Wyvern being legal at this point means that anytime you're ahead, you're really ahead.
Right, and the fact that the main tuner of the deck is a light to facilitate Synchro 7 so easily means that you can just finish games that probably would take a lot longer otherwise. I also like the random synergy with Super Nimble Mega Hamster that this has, because being able to just get a copy of the Tangnoster off of this instead of like Raikou. Like Super Nimble Mega Hamster's already a good card just solely because of Raikou, but the fact you have some like versatility in this like little beast toolbox here, it's even a 4 to facilitate your synchro plays too. So it sort of is just like a natural inclusion into the deck as well. I mean, your deck, I mean, we've seen TG in like history of Yu-Gi-Oh before as well. Like this isn't really anything new.
TG's weird.
But yeah, it's you can go ahead and discuss that a bit more.
Yeah, TG, it's just a deck without a home, right? Like, for so long, people played it like, oh, look at the cool TG synchros, but there's not really cool TG synchros. The benefit for playing the TG guys is you have easy lines to Wonder Magician, which is okay in some matchups, and like this in this one particularly, absolutely dog water. You have lines to make Trishula, which is really cool, and also a feature that this deck shares with like 5 others at this point in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. You have really sick back row in TGEM1, which is like a trap card creature swap. But conditional because you have to have a TG, which means that it's not very good. You could see that even this deck, which was like all in on TG, was supplementing it with the Flamvels, with King Tiger Wangu, just to have some game against some of the other decks in this format. And it's not hard to see.
His list also isn't playing Tengu, and Tengu is what made TGs really, really good. So this is just like kind of like a weird, outdated TG list, but again, he's playing on like an earlier ban list, so it doesn't make any sense.
See kind of why it petered out, with the exception of the TG deck that was piloted to an unbelievable YCS finish that was playing like Fiendish Chains and just like the TGs as like gene warped werewolves that refilled themselves. The deck doesn't have a very a long history of tops or anything, and I think this game really showcased why. It was weak to back row removal, weak to aggressive strategies, and strategies just get more aggressive and aggressive.
It's weak to back row removal, but he also isn't maining Starlight Road, he isn't maining Dark Bribe, he isn't maining Tengu. All these cards are like really nice tools to come back in the game. This is just a really bad list. The deck is actually very, very strong, easily tier 1 in the format as well. This list was just really bad.
As time goes by. I'm always happy to play the deck because I have a lot of fun with it. I think it's really interesting, but really happy that we got to show off some of its weaknesses against a deck like Nordic.
And we have to, of course, shout out the MVP of the Nordic deck, Heavy Storm.
3 games in a row. 3 games. it is what it is.
All right, guys, that wraps it up for this reaction video. We saw a lot of misplays. Hopefully you learned a lot about Nordics, because the deck is really cool. And the format that they're playing, even though it was kind of a mix between two, it's a good format. September 2011 is a phenomenal format. If you haven't tried it, I would absolutely recommend it. Please consider subscribing. If you like seeing this content, want to see more, subscribing really helps me. We're at like 50 some subscribers right now. We're trying to grow that to like 100. Let's shoot for a goal. So would really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you have a great time dueling today.